Wow, y'all. While I'm sitting here reading Isaiah chapter 3, verses 16 through 26, like I opened my Bible and it was right on this page, but it say judgments for the women's pride. In reading this, y'all, it says, moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks. That's what I'm saying. Nobody can't tell me God is real. I told y'all in that last video I just did that God has humbled me in this season. Like he has humbled me. He had to send me on this journey to humble myself. To humble myself and stop thinking that I'm better than other people. I ain't even other people, better than my baby daddy. Just because he ain't have the things that I had. And I came down hard on him. Because he didn't have the materialistic things that I had. But I still be trying to figure out, that's why I dealt with him in the first place without judging his circumstance. Because I know I was just in that season of my life when I was living in my mom's basement. I didn't have my own place. I always had my own car. And that's why he humbled me during this season. Now I'm back walking, catching a bus, doing all of this stuff. He truly humbled me for him. That's why God is like so real reading this. Like, it's crazy. I kept trying to lift him up to where I was, which wasn't that far. I mean, I had my stuff going. I'm not going to act like I didn't. But I was at least trying to get him to where I was. But he didn't knock me all the way back down. So now, so I'm starting to think, do he really want me with this loser? It's like, nah, he's not a loser. I'm like, I'm trying to get over everything. I'm trying to get over what he said about my child. Like, one minute I be saying I forgive him, but in the next breath I have second thoughts, you know, and it make me be mean again. But people do say stuff when they angry. I've said many mean things. And then that's why he always say, that's why I never want to say nothing to you, because I know I'll hurt your feelings. I know I'll hurt you. All the stuff you say about me, about my grandmother. I've said some mean things too. And I can't take it now that it's back on me. And he said that stuff about somebody that was close to me, because I don't care about what you say about nobody else. But he know, that's what I'm saying. People know who you really value. And that's who they'll use to get to you. Everybody know how I am about my kids. Like, and that's why he attacked my kid and attacked me by insulting my child and insulting me as a mother. Well, you know, that's all I care about being, like, as a mother. I care about my role as a mother. I don't care about nothing else. And when God see what you care about, he will use the devil himself to attack that very thing that you care about so that you can get in line. And reading this part right here, y'all, it's so funny how deep this Bible goes. That's why I just really, so I'm sitting here while the baby sleep and I'm just reading. I try to like read while she sleep. Wow, and this is page 771. Those my numbers. Like, wow. It's just very interesting because it's, I'm gonna just read this part to y'all. It say, more so over the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their caws and their round tires like the moon, the chains and the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings, the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel. The changeable suits of apparel and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen and the hoods and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle of rent, and instead of well-set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and a burning instead of beauty. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. And that's what happened. He had to strip me from all of that stuff, all that material stuff. It's just crazy, like, I keep crying on here with y'all because he really had to humble me. Like, I was doing a bunch of stuff too. It wasn't just him. It wasn't just them. That's why he had to strip me from everything. All your clothes and shoes, and you think you got nice furniture and hair. I keep telling y'all how I went bald. Like, well, I'm actually about to do the big chop right after this. My hair been falling out. I just told that in the video to Steph in the comments. I said I had to lose everything to get with God. I had to lose everything. And I said, including my hair. Like, I worked so hard to get my hair growing and stuff. And it was growing so good. Got my big bush. And then it all started breaking off. And I now understand, like, and it says right here, for it to say that, for it, what's the odds he took me right to this page? Like, I just opened it, and I was getting ready to go to Leviticus to read, but this, I saw this said judgment for the women's pride. I'm like, oh man, because I do have pride too. That pride is a killer, a relationship killer. You know, the pride that we have against our own men. It's funny, I just did a video about how we are with our men, why our men feel like they can't be vulnerable, you know. And even with my second BD, he was definitely vulnerable with me about a lot of things. There's still other things that he felt like, you know, when he has an issue with something, he's scared to address it with me because I'm going to go 0 to 100. That ain't cool. That ain't cool at all. Even though we ain't live together, he know that I'm going to be like, you can't come over my house. Or if you over my house, you got to go home. Go home. That ain't right. But you see, God had to separate us. He had to separate us and separate me from everybody so I could see also where I played in this thing. More so with him. It's just so interesting how he say all of this stuff right here in this little part. Because it say, and instead of a stomacher of a girding of, a girding of sackcloth and burning instead of beauty. Basically insinuating, you know how I vented to y'all in one of them videos, like all the cute things I used to have, all my style, my clothes, all my shoes, all my jackets. Like, I just miss being, I follow a couple girls on Instagram. I really like how they dress and stuff, because I do like style. And I say, I can't wait to get my stuff back, get my shoes. Right now, I just be wearing my one little rinky dinks. And this is what he's saying. You gonna look, what it say up there? And instead of, where was it? About the dirt. Oh, it says, and it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink. He basically saying, instead of you looking all cute, looking all good, smelling good, you gonna be looking homeless, dusty, the same way you be critiquing him. Everything I said, that's why God had to humble me too. Like, he had to do work on both of us, and he still got more work to do on him, just like he still got more work to do on me. So I'm not even gonna say that, but this judging, just worrying about all the wrong things. And that's what my baby daddy used to try to get me to understand. Like, you don't even listen to me, because all you care about is niggas with money. And you care about money. All you care about is money. You gonna meet a rich this, and that's all he obsessed over. He obsessed over that stuff too. Having a boss bitch, girl with a G-Wagon, and this a big booty, all this stuff. You be less than obsessing over the wrong things too. That's why God still got work to do with him. And he was saying, oh, like I said the other day, like, he was like, you got something. He was asking me about my lips. Like, you got some lip gloss or lipstick on something? I'm like, no, these are my lips. He was like, dang, I just love you. He was like, you're not even my type for real. He still says that, like, sir, he didn't say that before. You're not even my type. You're not my type. You don't got the build that I usually like. I like thicker guys. Like, I like guys that, yeah. And he wasn't really my type, but I entertained him anyway. And I wasn't really your type. That's why you can't always go off of types. But I really just feel like it's interesting how he broke me down like this to humble me. And I keep saying, oh, I'm tired of being dusty, tired of wearing these same little things, my same little pair of shoes. I miss having variety. I miss my kids having variety. Like, I miss just my old life, a little bit of just having the things that I used to have, the material things that I used to have. But he had to strip me from all of that to even get close with him, to learn the lessons I had to learn during this season. He's going to restore them, but he needed me to learn these things. Learn not to look down on others for having or not having these things. It will set hair baldness. And what's the odds I'm going to do that? Because I would talk about his hair too. It's not funny. It's just crazy. Like, he really humbled me during this season. I'm judging this man all wrong because he ain't my normal type. You ain't my normal type either. At first, I used to think, I'm like, you boring compared to these toxic dudes I was dealing with. He chill, laid back. He ain't really with all that. He not a street runner. I mean, he be out in the streets, obviously, but he not just a street runner. Like, he go out there to make his money and go in the house. But then I didn't like the street runners. That's what I did like about him, that he wasn't a street runner. But it's just interesting, like, God will humble us. The headbands, the tablets, and the earrings, the rings, and the nose jewels. He said, you want to take away everything. He said, in that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments. All that materialistic stuff. All your stuff. Because I feel like I look back at my pictures. I'm like, dang, I was so cute. I had all my accessories. I had all these different purses. Now God got me with this one struggle bag. You want to show y'all my struggle bag? Let me show y'all. Hold on. This is my rinky-dink bag that I've had all year long, guys. That's the bag. And I look at my pictures, I'm like, dang, I used to have a bunch of different purses. My daughter just was saying, Mommy, look at all your purses. Remember all your purses? Remember all your stuff? But God took that stuff away because he see, like, girl, you missing out on, you need cleansing. Forget all that materialistic stuff, girl. You got some bigger fish to fry. It's just crazy. But I thank you so much, God. And oftentimes we'll miss out on the one that God truly had for us because we judging him for the wrong things. We'll miss out on true love because we want to go off of materialistic type of love, or what this person got and what they can do for me monetarily, what they can do for me, just all about that. Oh, giving me money, doing stuff for me like that. Buy me this. You can't buy me this. You can't take me here. You can't take me there. You can't, granted, I still do believe I want that person that I can do those things with. But I've always said that I wanted to build with my person. That's why I always get with, not always, because my first baby daddy, he had stuff going for himself. And I think that's why I had put him on this pedestal for so long. Like my second BDC, you always give him all this credit. And they got alcoholic, this, that, and that. You always give him all this credit, but you treat me like that. He the one who put you out when you was pregnant. Da, da, da. I hate that he throws that stuff in my face that I didn't told him. But now I understand why he does it, because it's like, girl, the ones that do you wrong, look how you put them before me. Like, and I ain't never do none of that stuff to you. It just make me feel bad because I'm stupid for doing that. Like, this is like really just a learning lesson. It really is. And I was wrong for that, because these guys could do this that he wasn't in position right away to do. But if I would have been patient with him, like I was patient, like he patient with me, my attitude and stuff, he can get there. That stuff, you know. But that's also why I dealt with him in the beginning, because I'm like, I mean, the stuff that I'm complaining about, well, that I saw that I didn't really like you lacking this and lacking that, I'm like, you can easily get that stuff. But then I'm rushing him to do it because I'm like, I don't want my mom to think of you this way, and we pregnant now, and that means now you gotta meet her, and I gotta tell her about that I'm pregnant. I was scared to even tell my mom I was pregnant with my second baby because I knew she was gonna be inquiring about my baby daddy. And he treated me good, but I know he wasn't gonna live up to her expectations for me. You know, worried about that, hiding him from her, all of this stuff. That's why God needed to show the real. Show the real. Show the real. She be talking about me, but you way older than me, and look what you doing. You dealing with that, with what you say, what you call as a crackhead. You dealing with him, bringing him over on Christmas just because you see my baby daddy over here with me. Actually, both of them came over. Well, the second one, of course, he spent the night and woke up with us on Christmas. But my other one came over too, and I just think that's why. And she knew that they was gonna be there, because I'm like, any other time, why would you bring this man to my house? And you say he be stealing and stuff. Why would you bring him to my house for y'all both to just sleep on the couch and him sleep on the floor? Like, just so you could have a person there too. Now understanding this thing, how learning who my mom truly is, and that she's a narcissist and she's jealous of me, in competition with me. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense. And the same stuff I used to say to her, I'm like, girl, you be wanting men just for their money, just for this. How you gonna find true love? You looking for just for money too. That's why, and watching the Real Rob channel, I watched one of his old videos, and he say these mothers F their daughters up, basically, these narcissistic mothers. He ain't lie. So I'm saying, when we take our pride out of it, get that ego out the way, we can see what these men be saying for real. Some of them do be trying to be controlling, but some of them, when they truly care, they just trying to enlighten you, give you some constructive criticism too. But me, I wouldn't listen to him, because I'm like, you ain't got this, you ain't got that. Why would I listen to you? You gotta lead by example. All because I feel like example is, and it is true to a degree, because if you want to preach to me about self-worth, if you knew your worth, you would have never dealt with me. You would have never dealt with me. From the moment of that road rage incident I did with you, where I zapped like that and zapped on you in front of your father and all that stuff, you would have left me alone then. But you didn't know your worth either. But he just swear he's so in love with me. And I think sometimes it's hard for me to grasp that, because I've never had nobody that's just like that over me. So I realize a lot of stuff I ain't used to. So just like Davey, when you ain't used to it, it's hard for you to accept that. And, you know, I'm like, you obsessed, you pressed, when really he just showing you this what it looked like when somebody really care about you, girl. You used to dealing with them real narcissists. You used to dealing with them dudes who don't really care about you, don't, You used to dealing with that crap that you don't even know was real. You used to do love bombing. You used to that, even though he love bombs too. But with him, he don't stop. He always, every time he come over my house and stuff, I can admit that he ain't do as much as he did in the beginning, but that's also because his circumstances was different, because your little money wasn't money and because of your little stuff. But when he, even when he don't got much, and even with his last, he gonna give it to me to make sure I get something to eat, to make sure me and the kids do this. Like, so I feel bad that, you know, he might not have much, but he gonna bring me flowers. I would see the girls complain online and all that. They don't get flowers. I'm like, this dude might not have as much as other guys have, but what he do have, he go and do it. He bring me the flowers to my house. He do what he can, and I didn't truly appreciate it because it wasn't everything that I wanted right when I wanted. So, because that all or nothing thing that I have with my OCPD, that complex, I have complex disorders. Like, it's a mix. I be wanting everything when I want it, the way I want it, in line with the way I want it. That's that OCPD. And all or nothing. And it's reading this, y'all. And then it said, at her gates shall lament and mourn, and being desolate shall, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. And now I am being empty, having nothing, sitting on the ground, sliding down the wall, crying when I'm down here. Oh, why? I've got nothing. You take all this stuff away from me. I'm homeless. I don't have none of the clothes and shoes and this and money and car no more and this, that, and that and all of this. Crying, sliding down the wall. But I understand now what God had to do for me. My pride was in the way too. Couldn't be really vulnerable either with him. He pouring out all his feelings, but here I go, like he said, you just act hard and cold. Like, it's okay to tell me you love me. It's okay to call me too. But I'm like, based off my first one, you made it seem like it was an issue when I even called you. So now every dude after my first BD, I ain't calling you niggas. Y'all gotta call me. But I'm just realizing a lot. And this is why self-reflection is key. It's key. It is key. But let me keep reading this Bible, y'all. I just had to sit here and talk about this because I know many of us can relate, especially if you are that Jezebel. This is for the Jezebels, for sure. These are for the girls who so materialistic, who feel like you on top of the world because you got all the materialistics, you got the bags, you got the superficial things. Like I be saying, the dressed up trash buckets. This is who this for. The dressed up trash buckets, like I am. I'm not such so anymore, but I still got some of that to release off me. Being a dressed up trash bucket. Oh, you cute. Oh, you pretty. You got these nice, cool things, but look at your soul. Look at your attitude. Look at how you carry on. Look at how you talk to people. Look at how you talk to men. Look at how you treat people, period. As soon as you don't get your way. It's a way in which you do things. It's okay to feel these ways. But I realized, like, I don't have to, like, snap and zap and be... But I realized, like, I don't know, because it's kind of tricky because I'm not always like that. It's the ones that I'm close to. Because regular dudes in the street, I'm not just, like... Regular guys that I talk to on a regular, like, you know, I'm not on a regular, but if I go out to the store or something, I'm not just snapping at them. And if they try to holler at me, I'm not just like, no, I'd be like, I'm good, babe. I'd be like, thank you. Like, you know, I'm courteous, I'm nice. But it just goes to show them two different sides. Them two different sides that I have, like, but with the ones that I actually like, I treat them mean. The guys I don't like, I treat them nice. And that's stupid. It's stupid. I'm hard on them. It's like the ones that get close to me, it's like, That's just craziness. But yeah, y'all, this is Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16 to 26. This is the King James Version, and it says judgments for the women's pride. This book is the answers to everything. This book got all the answers in it. You know, y'all, and it's just funny because I literally, like, to see how I really carried on with my second baby dad. Like, I don't know, sometimes I still be questioning, was you trying to set me up that day that you popped up at my house early that morning? But he said he was just trying to come give me some money and stuff. And I knew, and I already had a feeling he was going to come that morning because I knew he got paid Friday and he probably was going to come around there on Saturday. And he definitely popped up that morning. But it's so funny how he's like, I wasn't going to do nothing to you. I'm not even on that. And the same way I was to my baby dad, like, he thought that about me. Like, you popping up at my house. He think I broke in his house. I didn't break in his house. I actually had the key to the basement door, but I went in the house. He wasn't there. I was in there. He came home that next morning, and I was coming down the steps. He was like, what are you doing in my house? How did you get in my house? He really thought I broke in. He put a restraining order on me and stuff, y'all. But I just was so in love with him. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, let's fix this. And so now I'm thinking about it. My second baby dad was doing that to me. And I'm thinking, I'm scared because I'm traumatized from this last situation. I almost got killed. So I'm like, I'm scared that you're popping up on me. Last time the dude popped up on me and stuff, he almost sent me on home to the Lord. So my second baby dad, with him popping up that day, the day that I had to pick up everything and just go, that day, he might have literally just been coming over there just to try to make up in person, talk in person, because I had him blocked. But I'm like, normally you'll call block. Why didn't you just call on a block number and stuff? But I was so upset with what he said. That's why he always be like, I wish I could have just take that day back and never said that stuff or whatever. But it's just interesting how I told y'all in that last video, everything, the way my first baby dad treated me, I went right on along and became that bitter, mad girl. Now I'm ready to destroy everybody's because he broke me. So now I'm like, okay, the game is on. The game is on. I'm about to tear these niggas up. Any nigga come in my life, yeah. And I did that with my second BD. I released some of my ways, some of my toxic ways, because I wasn't hitting him. I ain't never put my hands on him. But what I didn't change was my mindset. I didn't release all of the toxic ways that I had, the verbal abuse. I didn't release all of that. So I just wanted to add that in here because this is why God had to humble me. And maybe that day he wasn't trying to come kill me. I don't know. My mind, I don't trust people. So in my mind, I'm like, I still kind of don't trust him. It's just, I'm jaded. I got PTSD from the other dude popping up on me all the time and on that toxic stuff. So anytime a dude pop up now, I don't really like that. Don't pop up on me like that. Especially now after we had an argument or something, don't pop up. Even if you are trying to make up and all of that, don't force yourself on me. And I realized that it's like the cycle, like it's just crazy. Crazy. But yeah, y'all, that's all I wanted to just say. Like, it's a lot to this. But let me finish reading, y'all. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Deuces.